Welcome to the channel! At this point, no one could have guessed what Gwyneth Paltrow had to say about Gene Hackman. After years of silence, she has finally spoken out. But what surprises everyone is what she shared. Many expected a controversial statement or a revelation of behind-the-scenes secrets, but instead, Paltrow offered a very personal perspective that only a few truly understand. So what did she say? And why did she wait so long to speak out? If you want to uncover the mysteries surrounding the haunting death of Gene Hackman and his wife, don't miss any crucial details. Be sure to like, share this video, and subscribe to the channel for the latest updates. At this point, no one could have guessed what Gwyneth Paltrow had to say about Gene Hackman. After years of silence, she has finally spoken out. But what she shared surprised everyone. Many expected a controversial statement or a revelation of behind-the-scenes secrets, but instead, Paltrow offered a very personal perspective that only a few truly understand. So what did she say? And why did she wait so long to speak out? Let's find out together. Gene Hackman, a man with a legendary legacy, is regarded as one of Hollywood's icons. As a famous actor and an entertainer with a magnetic presence, Hackman was not just a star, but also an outstanding talent in the American film industry. With 2 Academy Awards under his belt, Hackman solidified his place as one of the greatest names in cinema, known for his incredibly authentic portrayals. Even when playing unlikable characters, Hackman had the ability to breathe life into his roles, making it impossible for audiences not to love him. One of the most memorable works in Hackman's career is his role in The Royal Tenenbaums. In this film, he portrays a domineering, cunning, and washed-up father, a role alongside Gwyneth Paltrow. The film not only earned recognition for both Hackman and Paltrow, but Hackman also won a Golden Globe for Best Actor in a Motion Picture, Musical or Comedy. However, after this success, he unexpectedly withdrew from Hollywood while still at the peak of his career. Hackman suddenly left the film industry without any announcement or explanation. He retired and chose a quiet life in New Mexico, rarely appearing in public. When he passed away, many Hollywood actors expressed their respect for him, including Clint Eastwood, who had worked with Hackman in Unforgiven. Clint described Hackman as an actor who was both fierce and instinctively powerful in his roles, and he felt the loss deeply, as Hackman had been a close friend. Morgan Freeman, who also worked with Hackman in Unforgiven and Under Suspicion, shared memorable stories about Hackman, praising him as an incredibly talented actor. Similarly, Francis Ford Coppola referred to Hackman as a great artist, both inspiring and exceptional. Other actors, such as Viola Davis, also honored Hackman's ability to portray both the strength and vulnerability of his characters. However, after Hackman's passing, Gwyneth Paltrow remained silent. This led many fans to wonder if there was any rift between her and Hackman in the past. Hackman was known to be a serious man, but did his attitude cause discomfort for some people? Gene Hackman, full name Eugene Allen Hackman, was born in 1930 in San Bernardino, California. His early years were filled with hardship, from being abandoned by his father at a young age to joining the United States Marine Corps. While Hackman's film career kept his personal life out of the public eye, the struggles of his past may have influenced the characters he portrayed on screen, particularly those with emotional distance. Hackman's tough persona was not just an act on film, but also reflected his real-life character. At the age of 16, Hackman lied about his age to join the United States Marine Corps, where he developed discipline and resilience. However, despite being a field radio operator, Hackman quickly realized the military wasn't the right place for him. After leaving the service, he struggled to find a new direction in life. In his late 20s, Hackman enrolled at the Pasadena Playhouse, where he met Dustin Hoffman, another actor also grappling with his career. Though both were considered unlikely to succeed, Hackman and Hoffman proved their teachers wrong. Hackman's early career was filled with challenges. He took on supporting roles in television, often playing villains or law enforcement officers. These roles aligned with his real-life persona, but Hackman didn't stop there. He began to evolve and expand his acting range to prove himself. After struggling with smaller parts, Hackman had his first major breakthrough in 1967. The film Bonnie and Clyde, released on August 13, 1967, marked a major turning point in Hackman's career, where he played the role of Buck Barrow. This performance earned him his first Oscar nomination for Best Supporting Actor. From then on, Hackman began to attract the attention of Hollywood producers and was seen as an emerging star. In 1971, Hackman delivered one of the finest performances of his career as Detective Jimmy "Popeye" Doyle in The French Connection. This role was unlike any typical Hollywood hero, featuring a character who was rude, violent, and aggressive. However, it was this unique personality that helped Hackman win the Oscar for Best Actor. The French Connection is now considered one of the most iconic films in his career. The French Connection was not just another role for Hackman. It marked a pivotal moment in his career. His performance in the film truly stood out due to how he portrayed a real-life story, inspired by the agents Eddie Egan and Groh, who uncovered an international heroin trafficking ring. Hackman brought the story to life, making a powerful impact and contributing to cinematic history. However, at the peak of his success, Hackman chose to shift the genre of his acting. In an interview about this change, Hackman explained that he knew he had succeeded when his roles became more diverse. He felt that he had explored all the challenges and was ready to embrace new ones. From playing Detective Popeye, Hackman transitioned to a different genre when he portrayed Lex Luthor in Superman 1978, bringing a blend of humor and menace, both cunning and charming. Next, in Mississippi Burning, Hackman continued to showcase his excellence by portraying an FBI agent investigating civil rights murders. Each role was a remarkable display of raw emotion and skill, further solidifying his outstanding talent. In 2001, Hackman shared the screen with Gwyneth Paltrow in The Royal Tenenbaums. While immensely talented and dedicated to his craft, Hackman was also known for being impatient, straightforward, and sometimes difficult. This attitude made some of his co-stars, especially Gwyneth Paltrow, feel uneasy while working with him. However, it was precisely Hackman's strict acting method that set him apart from typical Hollywood stars. He didn't care about fame. He was solely focused on his work, which helped him stay calm and concentrated on delivering excellence in his performances. In 2004, Hackman appeared in Welcome to Mooseport, a light-hearted comedy. While his performance was still praised, the film's plot failed to leave a strong impression on fans. Some saw it as a weak farewell to a legendary career, while others hoped he would return for a more fitting role. However, Welcome to Mooseport turned out to be Hackman's final film, and he chose to retire from acting without any explanation or warning. When asked about his retirement, Hackman simply replied that Hollywood had changed. After retiring, Hackman lived a quiet life in New Mexico, rarely appearing in public or speaking about his career. Although not the typical Hollywood star, Hackman left a lasting mark on film history with his iconic roles. His love for privacy, discipline, and authenticity shone throughout his career. He was rude, intimidating, and humorous when necessary, but it was his honesty in each role that solidified Gene Hackman's place in the hearts of fans. When Gene Hackman passed away at the age of 94, along with his wife Betsy at their home in New Mexico, their deaths sent shockwaves through the public and raised many questions. Hackman's cause of death was confirmed as heart failure related to Alzheimer's disease, while his wife passed away from pulmonary syndrome caused by the HAAV virus, a virus transmitted through rodents. Their bodies were discovered in February 2025, a revelation that shocked not only the public, but also the entertainment industry. Hackman's career was honored with tributes from colleagues and fans, but his loss was deeply mourned. However, as details about the deaths of Hackman and his wife emerged, numerous contradictions and controversies began to surface, making the circumstances surrounding their deaths increasingly unclear. The first question arose from the inconsistency regarding Betsy's date of death. The official report stated that Betsy passed away on February 11, 2025. But Dr. Josiah Child, the head of Cloudberry Health in Santa Fe, claimed she had an appointment scheduled for February 12th. The doctor stated that Betsy showed no signs of shortness of breath during the call, but she did not show up for the appointment. This raised doubts about the accuracy of the reported date of death. When Betsy's body was discovered, there were signs suggesting she had been dead for some time, with indications of embalming and bloating. Additionally, the Hackman family did not allow the release of the autopsy report or investigative records related to the deaths of both Gene and Betsy. This led to speculation and significant public interest regarding the circumstances surrounding their deaths. Some believe the Hackman family might want to keep personal health struggles or private issues of the couple under wraps, while others suspected there could be a cover-up or hidden motive behind the true cause of their deaths. The inconsistencies regarding Betsy's time of death and the actual time she passed away fueled theories of a potential cover-up. Jesse Kessler, who had worked for the Hackman family for 16 years, stated that he encountered numerous difficulties in contacting the family and arranging a health check for the couple. After being unable to reach the Hackman family, Kessler went to their home with a security guard, where he discovered the bodies of both Hackman and Betsy. Meanwhile, Hackman's daughter, Leslie Ann Allen Hackman, claimed that she had not been informed of her father's condition until she discovered his body. These details remain an unresolved mystery, sparking doubts and unanswered questions surrounding the deaths of Gene Hackman and his wife. Authorities confirmed that Gene Hackman's children were also not informed about his death, and this lack of communication raised concerns about the circumstances surrounding the actor's passing. For many years, Gwyneth Paltrow, who had worked closely with Hackman, never mentioned him in interviews, memoirs, or even casual conversations. She seemed to have carefully avoided mentioning his name, leading the public to question the relationship between them. However, after Hackman's death, Paltrow finally broke her silence and spoke out. Gwyneth Paltrow began her film career in the early 90s with her debut film Shout, released in 1991. Born into a Hollywood family, her mother, Blythe Danner, was an actress, and her father, Bruce Paltrow, was a renowned film director in the 70s. Despite her parents' careers in the industry, Gwyneth had to carve out her own path. After Shout, she took on a small but memorable role in Hook, 1991, followed by supporting roles in Malice and Flesh and Bone, 1993. Gwyneth Paltrow's breakout role came in 1995 with David Fincher's C7N, where she played Tracy, the wife of the detective portrayed by Brad Pitt. The success of this film brought her attention in Hollywood. She continued to rise with impressive roles, including playing Austin in Emma, 1996, a performance that earned critical acclaim. However, the peak of her career came when she played Viola in Shakespeare in Love, a role that earned her the Academy Award for Best Actress. Like and subscribe to the channel to not miss the captivating story of Gwyneth Paltrow's career journey, from her breakout role in C7N to winning the Oscar for Shakespeare in Love. With her Golden Globe and Academy Award wins, Gwyneth Paltrow solidified her position as one of Hollywood's biggest stars. She became a highly sought-after leading actress, essential to the film industry. By that time, her career was firmly established, making her one of the top names leading up to the Royal Tenenbaums. Gwyneth Paltrow continued to expand her career into various genres, including romantic comedies and dramas. One of her notable roles was in The Talented Mr. Ripley, where she played the wealthy and innocent fiancé of Jude Law. Although she was one of the most sought-after actresses of the 90s, not all of her films were successful. This led Paltrow to take on roles with stronger character traits. A significant milestone in her career came when she joined the Royal Tenenbaums, marking a shift from romantic leads to portraying an eccentric character, a complete departure from her previous roles. In The Royal Tenenbaums, Paltrow plays Margot Tenenbaum, a cold and humorous character with the ability to suppress her emotions. With her bold eyeliner and bob haircut, Margot became one of the most iconic roles in Paltrow's career, defining the aesthetic of an era. After this film, Paltrow stepped away from pursuing blockbuster success, establishing herself as a talented actress through roles in smaller films and personal projects. From 2002 to 2005, she won numerous awards and also married Chris Martin, the lead singer of Coldplay, in 2008. Paltrow's career took a major turn when she joined the Marvel Cinematic Universe, starting with her role as Pepper Potts in Iron Man. The film became a huge hit, and her portrayal of Tony Stark's assistant and love interest became one of the most recognized roles of her career. She went on to reprise her role as Pepper Potts in the Avengers films and Avengers Endgame, solidifying her influence in Hollywood cinema. Before joining the Royal Tenenbaums, Gwyneth Paltrow had already won several awards, and after the film's release, she took a step back from Hollywood, shifting her focus away from acting. However, she still left a lasting mark on Hollywood and can proudly call herself one of the most successful stars in the industry. The Royal Tenenbaums was not only a successful film, but also a collaboration between several big Hollywood stars, including Gene Hackman and director Wes Anderson. Anderson, with his unique visual style and deadpan humor, made his films stand out. However, despite having a distinct and prominent style, Anderson couldn't fully control his lead actors. Hackman, while not openly declaring his legendary career, had a greater influence than he was willing to admit. Hackman's dominant presence was evident on every set, including the Royal Tenenbaums. Gwyneth Paltrow had memorable experiences on the set of the Royal Tenenbaums, but oddly, this is one of the topics she rarely mentions. While Paltrow has openly shared the ups and downs of her career and her co-stars, she seldom speaks about Gene Hackman. Her silence about her experience working with Hackman has raised many questions. One possible reason could be respect and professional courtesy toward Hackman, who was known to be very private. However, there may also be an untold story about their relationship and the process of making this iconic film. The Royal Tenenbaums was not only a successful film, but also a collaboration between several big Hollywood stars, including Gene Hackman and director Wes Anderson. Anderson, with his unique visual style and deadpan humor, made his films stand out. However, despite having a distinct and prominent style, Anderson couldn't fully control his lead actors. Hackman, while not openly declaring his legendary career, had a greater influence than he was willing to admit. Hackman's dominant presence was evident on every set, including the Royal Tenenbaums. Hackman, following the old-school approach, disliked excessive takes and was unhappy with Anderson's more relaxed method of directing actors. Hackman's impatience and lack of tolerance toward Anderson became increasingly apparent, eventually leading to outright hostility. Some crew members reported that Hackman berated Anderson on set, telling him to stop being childish and pull up your pants. The tension wasn't limited to the director-actor relationship. It also affected other actors on set. Bill Murray, who played Raleigh St. Clair in the film, tried to act as a mediator between Hackman and Anderson. Having worked with Anderson before, Murray defended the young director and tried to maintain a light atmosphere on set, but most of his efforts were unsuccessful. Hackman's behavior not only affected Anderson, but could also impact the younger actors, including Gwyneth Paltrow. At the time, Paltrow was on the rise to becoming a Hollywood star, with standout roles in Emma and Shakespeare in Love. These roles solidified her ability to portray nuanced and emotionally complex characters. However, when she joined the Royal Tenenbaums, Paltrow took on the role of Margot Tenenbaum, a distant and enigmatic adopted daughter, a stark contrast to her previous roles. Margot is a withdrawn, melancholic, and conflicted character, completely opposite to the manipulative nature of her adoptive father. The relationship between Margot and her father, who desperately seeks reconciliation but cannot reach her, reflects a complex and emotionally charged dynamic, presenting a new challenge for Paltrow in portraying such an eccentric and distant character. Gwyneth Paltrow and Gene Hackman had a tense relationship on the set of the Royal Tenenbaums, but she didn't acknowledge it for many years. Despite being an Oscar-winning actress, Paltrow openly avoided discussing her time working with Hackman. She spoke about films like Shakespeare in Love, The Talented Mr. Ripley, and Iron Man, but when the Royal Tenenbaums came up, she stayed silent, unless necessary for public relations purposes. Some believe Hackman may be the reason she avoids talking about the film, but could that be the only reason? One possible reason could be the significant difference in experience and working styles between Hackman and Paltrow. Hackman, with decades of experience and a legendary career, was known to be very strict and straightforward on set. Paltrow, at the time in her late 20s, may not have had enough experience to cope with the pressure from an actor like Hackman. This could have created a sense of tension not only between them, but also within the overall atmosphere of the film set. Hackman, with his tough working style, disliked excessive retakes, and was frustrated with Wes Anderson's more laid-back approach on the Royal Tenenbaums. This created hostility between Hackman and Anderson, and the tensions spilled over to other actors, including Paltrow. While actors like Bill Murray and Luke Wilson later praised Hackman's professionalism, for Paltrow, playing Margot Tenenbaum required her to remain emotionally detached, which might have made it more challenging for her than for the other cast members. There are several theories about Paltrow's prolonged silence. One theory is that she respected Hackman and chose to remain silent as a way to avoid any controversies that might arise from her reactions to the Hollywood legend. Another possibility is that Paltrow didn't have a personal connection to the film as deeply as she did with other projects in her career. Regardless, Paltrow's silence has led many to question whether her experience with Hackman was truly more difficult than others. Eventually, after many years, Paltrow decided to share her experiences with Hackman and the Royal Tenenbaums. In an interview, she admitted that Hackman demanded excellence from everyone. She described the tension between them as a creative conflict that forced her to confront her own limitations. While Hackman was strict, she acknowledged that he helped her grow significantly in both her career and life. She remembered him not with hostility, but with respect for his legacy and his strong presence. Despite the challenges faced on set, The Royal Tenenbaums remains an iconic film and an essential part of Gwyneth Paltrow's career. She portrayed the detachment, elegance, and quiet sadness of Margot Tenenbaum, an unforgettable and striking performance. Gene Hackman's legacy, even within the tense on-set relationship, lives on through his memorable performances, leaving a lasting impression on audiences and colleagues, including Paltrow. Gwyneth Paltrow openly shared a significant experience from the Royal Tenenbaums set, where Hackman criticized her acting performance bluntly. She admitted that the harsh criticism deeply hurt her. However, instead of letting it discourage her, Paltrow chose to view it as a valuable lesson. She realized she needed to put in more effort to bring authenticity to her acting, something she may have overlooked before. This not only changed her approach to her work, but also had a profound impact on her acting career. Although she hadn't spoken much about Hackman over the years, Paltrow finally broke her silence. She acknowledged that Hackman, with his strong presence, was not only a legendary actor, but also a force of nature in both life and art. She admired his intensity, viewing it as a testament to his unwavering commitment to his craft. Her words in the interview affirmed that Hackman left a deep impact on her career, particularly through her portrayal of Margot Tenenbaum in The Royal Tenenbaums. The shift in Paltrow's view of Hackman came after his passing, as public interest in his legacy grew. Paltrow stated that her decision wasn't an abrupt change, but rather a gradual evolution over time. What she once found difficult to endure became crucial in redefining both her identity and career. Her change in perspective was not only about clarifying their relationship, but also about reaffirming Hackman's legacy in the film industry. Paltrow ended her silence to honor Gene Hackman, not only for his legendary performances, but also for the profound influence he had on his co-stars and the film industry. Although Hackman had stepped away from Hollywood to live a private life, he is still remembered as a powerful actor who always pushed his fellow actors to achieve their best. Paltrow's long silence may have led many to speculate about her relationship with Hackman, but by sharing her story now, she helps the public gain a better understanding of the impact he had on her career. Ultimately, the question remains whether Gene Hackman has been properly honored in the film industry. Though he stepped away from the industry, his legacy lives on through his films and the impact he left behind. While younger generations may not fully grasp the extent of Hackman's influence on cinema, those who worked with him and his fans continue to revere him as an irreplaceable legend. What do you think about Hackman's passing and Hollywood's response? Was he honored enough? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. See you in the next video.